Hello everybody. Welcome back to Musings by Nikki. This is Nikki. And look, there is no journal here because that's not what this video is about. I've been talking about doing this for a while. I've been gathering things for a while, and I finally am getting to the point where I am ready to stock and share some of the things that I have been kind of gathering in my Etsy shop. So I'm going to give you a quick run through without further ado. We won't chat much. I'm just going to start showing you some of the stuff that I will be including. So the first thing I'm going to do is I love vintage books, and I have been gathering vintage book pages, well, vintage books, taking pages out for a while, but now I have so many of them that it's time to share them with everybody. So let me make sure I'm in frame so you can see what I'm showing you. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to have 4 different packs of like bundles, and they'll come, you know, bundled up like this. And so the first one, without further ado, this one is, I think, my favorite, even though it's the smallest and it's only 2 different books, but the bigger pages are from 17, like 17 magazine, Book of Etiquette and Young Living. And it's totally an etiquette, like how do you write a nice letter, and how do you invite the groom's parents to your wedding if they're divorced, but it's all from 1970. So like, how do you put cigarettes on the table when you're hosting a dinner party? Like, so these are precious pages just even to read, but they'd be fun to include in journals as well. And then the other ones are from a book called A Time of Understanding, and it's like stories about young girls coming of age. I also apologize right now. I have the windows open because it is gorgeous today in Minnesota. So if you hear rumbling trucks or anything, I apologize, but I love having the windows open. Okay. So that's this bundle. It will have 28 pages. The next one is like a botanical plants and animals. We'll just call it natural. It would be like a great in floral books or naturalist books. So you're going to get some of these little pages here about how to identify different flowers. These make great, you know, if you sew these onto or glue them onto coffee stained paper, you can scan them and reprint them, or they're great just tuck-ins for journals or tags. Then you'll get a couple about animals and the differences between them. Look how different deer's behinds look. And then some more full color ones. All of these books are from, these are all from the 40s and 50s. Flying squirrels and where they're, and then you'll get a bunch of botanicals, so different flowers, florals, with really pretty images, both sides. Then this is from a vintage bird watching guide, so you'll get several pages of information, and then you'll get 1 full color page as well. These are from a children's science book, but it's like a natural science book reader format, so they have great images, and they are, I tried to keep them together so you could sew them into a signature just like this if you wanted. Those are great. Then there's also a larger children's science book that has other great images, and these are nice thick pages too. And, you know, totally from the 50s, because we don't go shopping with gloves on anymore, usually, most of us. Then, these are from a gardening book from the 50s, and they have great black and white images and plant information. And then you'll get 1 full color page from that book as well, with some nice illustrations. And then the last ones are these large images, and they're from a like forest animals and trees book. So you'll get one with a bird image on it, and then on the back side they have just writing and information. And then two with just random animals. So this one is a chipmunk and a fence lizard. And then you'll get one with like a forest, mountains, trees type of image as well. So that is the like nature, you know, botanical plant animal bundle, we'll call it. Then a children's book pages bundle, and there are there were 45 pages in the botanical one. There are 40 pages in this one. First you get some pages from White Fang, and they have a lot of really nice images on them as well. The edges are really nice and yellowed and aged already. And then 4 pages, but they're connected, so you could sew those in as well. And these are from a vintage children's Lutheran hymnal. Then more pages from that children's science reader, so you get 8 pages total, but they're in 4 sets of 2 because they're connected. Then these are from a vintage book that was like short stories of Hans Brinker, but it's a hand-sewed book, and I actually really love this like kind of wonky stitching. It was hard to take apart, man, but it was worth it because you get this as kind of cool detail, and I like including that stuff. So you'll get some pages from that book. Then T shared with me a Paganini book that had these awesome illustrations. And so I'm sharing with you 2 pages from that, and I've tried to keep them connected if possible. Great images there. Then a couple of children's book pages that are nice and thick. So these make great sturdy envelopes, or you can, you know, slice them apart for tuck spots or pockets or whatever. But you'll get 2 of those. Then these are from a larger children's science book, so you'll get some pages from that. And then these are probably my favorite book that I have, and you're lucky I'm sharing them, but I'll just never use all this. But it's an old atlas, children's like textbook atlas from the 30s, I think, or 40s. And it has these awesome images. Aren't they gorgeous? And then on the back it has information, because it's like a textbook as well. So those are awesome. You'll get 3 pages, and all of them will have wonderful images. A couple pages from another children's book. They're nice and thick. Again, great envelopes or slicing apart. You'll get pages from a vintage coloring book. Again, they have kind of nice patina, nice edging, a yellowing. And then a couple of pages from this, nice big pages from this children's handwriting book, which I just like, look at the handwriting. Just appreciate this with me for a second. If this is a children's handwriting, even at high school, man, I think I've said this in other ones, I wish they still taught cursive in school. Anyway, children's book pages, that 40 in that one. And then this is just like a basic, like if you're just starting out, or if you just need kind of a refiller. Like when I first started making journals, a lot of times I just would buy packages like this, so I got a whole variety of all kinds of different types of books. So that's what this is. This is just going to be like just a basic book pages bundle. There's 50 pages total. They come from, this is a vintage poetry book, and this is from the 30s. This is from the turn of the century, the last century, and it is old poetry as well. These pages are a lot more fragile, but they're amazing, really cool looking. So you get some of those. You get some more of those hand-bound pages from that children's book. because they look really cool, and they're kind of a nice thick page as well. So that's those. Then these are from a book called Your Flag and Mine, and these are nice thick. So again, good for tags, good for tuck spots, good for making pockets, and some of them have some images on them as well. So here's some of those. These, let's see, to here. These are pages from a book on the archaeology in Egypt, I believe. Nice thick, and they're vintage, and they've got some good images on them as well. So I'll get those. This is from that 17 book about etiquette. These, thank you Mom if you're watching, these are some pages from a calligraphy practice handbook. This is from the 60s, I want to say. But it's practicing, teaching you how to write in there you go. So you get 5 of those pages. Then you get a couple of pages from a large Van Gogh, a vintage book about Van Gogh's paintings, and they have great images on them. So you get those. And then a couple more of the spelling pages. Some of them will have blank space like this. This works great if you slice these up. I've sliced them up and used the different sections for backing tags with and stuff, journaling cards, because it's like an automatic journaling space. So they work great for that. And then you'll also get one very large vintage dictionary page. So that is the basic book pages bundle, and there's 50 pages in that one. So you will get those. Then also, I'll be putting in some of these, we'll go through that one, some of these bundles of wallpaper samples. Let me make sure I'm still, yep, okay. Wallpaper samples, but these are not just ordinary wallpaper. This is like this coolest stuff ever. It is, and it's gonna be hard to show you. Some of the more textured ones will be easier to show you. But it's textured, and if you've watched my videos, you know how I love there to be tactile elements in my books. These bring the tactile element right away really well. So you'll get, I think there's 15. They measure, I want to say like 5 by 6 or kind of close to. Perfect size for like making pockets. You can cut them up. Layering them in tags is awesome. Layering them on the front of a journal is awesome. A lot of them have kind of a sheen, and so again, I'm going to try and show that, demonstrate that. And then I'll just flip through them really quick. So some of them have smaller little pieces of raffia kind of woven through. And this one has this gorgeous gold behind it. Oh, I hope you can see that sheen. This one is kind of a real natural color. This is where these are a little bit more chunky, so you can see more of the texture. You can also feel more of the texture. Some of them have just really big chunks of raffia woven in, which is just awesome. There's this one that's this kind of aqua color almost. It's gorgeous. Kind of a dark brown and copper. Kind of more of a greenish almost. That one's really thick. And then these last few are thicker, much thicker. So they have larger, I think this is my favorite. It actually has like spots where the raffia is tied in little knots, and you can see the weaving. I love it. And then they just, I mean, they look like wallpaper sample on the back. So that will be in my shop as well. A bundle of 15 of those. Then, let's grab this up. I had made some tags for kind of a project. Let's see, these are 4 of the same, and this one's a little different. There we go. So they're sets. These are 4 sets of 3 tags, and I got when I first got my die punch machine, I die punched a ton of these little flowers and then layered them, and I was having so much fun making these tags. So this is a set of 3 tags, and they're all fairly similar. They have these pearlescent brads and this little plaque, and then it's covered with just some paper in the back so you don't see the brads coming through. So you get a small, medium, and a large. The small and the medium tag have the pearls, and then the small one, or the large and the medium, and then the small one is just like that. And there's 4 sets of those. And then there is 1 set of 3, it's got 3 larger tags and 4 smaller tags. These would work great in journals. I mean, they'd be great clipped onto things. They'd also be great just as gift tags. And then I'm gonna have a whole bunch of different cards of trims. I'm just gonna whip through them really quick. I'll just try and show you one of each. So this is like a feather boa trim. It's very soft. It works well. All these work in all kinds of great applications. Then I've got this one that's this super fluffy and sparkly kind of purple, deep purple, and then this one is more of kind of a violet bluish purple. And most all of these are 2 yards of each on the card. Then we've got pom-poms. So this is like a smaller pom-pom trim with lime and purple and aqua and pink and yellow. And then this is this big fluffy, super soft, like chenille almost, giant pom-poms trim. And that looks so cute along the edge of a journal or like hanging off a tag or something. So there's that one. Then, if you've been watching my fairy journal videos that I just recently posted, you saw this super soft purple and mauve kind of, it's like eyelash trim, only it's just so soft. Anyway, you'll get some of that. And then also in there was this pink tinsel eyelash. And it's just a very soft pink, and it's got silver iridescent kind of tinsel through it, so it's real sparkly and pretty. And then we've got tape. It's like it was called like tape yarn or ribbon yarn. So we've got this gorgeous shiny rainbow one. Lovely. And then this one is very soft, almost kind of like a chenille soft or fleece, and it's a little bit thicker. This one's very thin, this one's a little thicker, and it's kind of like sherbet colors, I like to say. So those, 2 yards of each of those. And then this one, this is this super extra long. I mean, look at how long the eyelash is on this. This would be, wouldn't this be great in like naturalist journals or botanical or yeah, any sort of like outdoors nature type of things, or like a fairy one, it would have been great in that, but super long eyelashes. And then this is this very soft, pretty, there's a word for it, the looped yarn. Oh, anyway, it's very pretty, and it has complementary colors kind of. It has some greens and purples in there. You get 3 yards of that because it's thinner, and you get 2 yards of this long eyelash. And then we have this card, and it has another extra long eyelash, and it's kind of like a mauvey pink color. And then this one is like a banner yarn. So the fiber itself, the yarn itself is thin, but as these banners, these little danglies hanging off of it, almost like the tape yarn or the ribbon yarn, but it's just kind of woven right through. So again, so many cool applications for that along the edge of a page in a journal, or as a string at the top of something. Those are really cool. Then, I'm mixing everything up. Here's another one, another extra long eyelash. Look at some of those, are very long. This top one is pinks and purples, beautiful. And then this bottom one is a fuzzy eyelash, kind of like, it's a little more kinked and fuzzy. And it's these beautiful kind of oranges and reds and purples and a little bit of blue in it. So 2 yards of each. Then this one is a little bit different, no eyelash on here, but these are such fun yarns, and these look great on the tops of tags and things too. This one is a twisted, they're basically the same color scheme, but this one is like twisted together so you can see the different colors kind of going through it. And then this is a thick and thin yarn, so there are points where it's really thick and then it gets thinner. So great applications for those. And if you just watched my 200 subscriber giveaway video, you saw some of this on the tag on the front of that journal. And it's here, right here. So look at that. It looks great at the top of a tag like that. It's a super cool fiber. I'm only going to put one card out because I don't have a ton of it, but it is really cool, and it's really hard to find. I can't find it anywhere. And it has just a hint of kind of shine in there. Really cool fiber. Then I think these are the last two. So this is this really cool eyelash, but it also has all kinds of like different stuff, almost like a chenille feel in there, and some of the kind of almost boa type of stuff. It's very soft. It's like a rag eyelash. And you get 2 yards of this. And then this is the ultimate fairy card. You could use it for anything, but it has that sparkly purple, super fluffy eyelash. It has that shimmery pink, and then it also has this awesome, very rare, hard to find fiber, and it's very thin, but it has these sections where it's got this tinsel through it, this gold tinsel. Oh my gosh, they're gorgeous. And I've used that. You'll get 6 yards of that. You get 3 yards of this and 4 yards of the pink, I think, on here. All right, so I was about to show you these, then it started pouring and I had to make an adjustment because remember I said I had my windows open? Anyway, so these are the last thing I'm going to show you. These were inspired by Gail Augustinelli, and then Tracy Fox did a video about them, but I believe her inspiration came from Gail as well, and Gail got one from a friend. So there you go. That's where I got the idea from. And my niece's graduation was coming up, so I made her one of these as a card. And these work great as cards. They work great to stick into a journal as an addition into them. I made one again for my friend Holly's wedding. So I'm going to show you, they have different themes. This would be great if you were giving this to, you could almost make these, because they're really sturdy, you could almost give these to, like, you know, your friend if they were going on a trip. They could stick photos in them. So anyway, this one is butterflies and moths, so we'll call it wings. It closes with this lovely, which I just tangled up, of course, twine that has gold through it. I'm going to just go through these as quick as I can. This is a very tactile, studded, handmade paper with gold accents. Has these gorgeous images of butterflies and moths. It opens up, I don't know, let me see if I can make sure. Okay, make sure you can see it. There's this copper washi in here, gorgeous images. Each pocket has a pull-out file folder. In there is a little note card. And then that closes, it goes back in. So each pocket has one of those. And then on the back are these gorgeous images of moths and butterflies. So these pockets, like I said, there's a lot of capacity. So you could really use this to put photos in. I mean, there's so many applications. So that's that one. This one is music. And so it opens up, and each one has a couple layers of vintage music. And then in their pockets are a piece of dictionary page. It's copied onto thicker cardstock, but music dictionary specifically. Thank you, T. And so again, lots of capacity there. And then there are quotes, different quotes about music on the back. So as you close them up, you'll see the different quotes about music. So there you go. This one is kind of a shabby floral, closes with twine. And it has these big gorgeous floral images. Those are from Calico Collage, I think. Aren't they pretty? Those. And then in each one of these pockets, there's an actual card, like a note card, with just some different layers of washi across the top. So those slip in, and you could journal about your trip. You could write notes. In my niece's, I put, because she's graduating from high school, I put thoroughly useless quotes in here, a bunch of just silly, ridiculous quotes. Thoroughly useless Venn diagrams, and I stuck a whole bunch of funny Venn diagrams in here. And then this one was useful things, and that's where I put my personal notes to her and some gift cards. There we go. Or cashed, I don't know, remember. It is probably good. right, Jetta, if you're watching this. This one is kind of a travel theme. And, oh, I made one for another graduation too, and did the kind of the same theme, Venn diagrams and quotes. Switched some of them up a little bit for one of my best friend's daughters, Taylor. Hi, Taylor, if you are watching this. Hello, or Renee. So this one is a travel theme. So it has vintage maps on the back and stamps. And then in here, there are just little collages of some stamps and postcards and a map. And then inside each one is a postcard that you could actually use as a postcard or journal on. And again, lots of capacity in these envelopes. They're very thick. I don't know where my mom found them, but she gifted them to me, and they're awesome. And then also this very wide washi in the background here that's like vintage map on it. So this would be perfect if you had somebody going away on a trip to wherever. This would be nice. And then this last one, oh, this is that trim that I showed you earlier, that real hard to find with the gold tinsel. This is what it looks like unwound. So, and this is it doubled up. So this is Edith Holden pages. So it has pictures of birds, and then layered with her words on the back, her writing. And then inside each pocket there is a little file folder again. So you could stick photos in there, you could open it up and write notes or journal. And again, nice big pockets, so you could fit a lot of stuff in there. And the tabs are made out of Edith Holden as well. And then it just has some really pretty, like kind of almost a real pale blue washi with gold embellishment, so it gives it just a little shine. So then you close it up. Lovely bird images. So there we go, guys. So all this stuff, this and all of these, Etsy bound in the next couple of days here. By the time this video uploads, I'll have a majority of this stuff uploaded into my shop. So thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for all the support with journals and stuff. I hope that some of this stuff, it looks like stuff that you might be interested in. Let me know, or comment if there's anything that it looks particularly interesting. And please subscribe or share this video with other people that might use this stuff as well. Like I said, it's not going to be exorbitant. I just really think that like some of this stuff, like this wallpaper and whatever, is really cool, and I want to share it with other people too. So thank you very much. I will see you guys again in another video very soon. And thank you for all the support. Thank you for just passing 200 subscribers. And I will see you guys very shortly. Stay blessed. Be blessed. God bless. Bye-bye.